Welcome to 340 Paddler, and today we're going to talk about staying in the boat on the 340. It is incredibly tempting to spend as much time as you can at any checkpoint or at shore. Let's talk about why you really want to stay in the boat. The ideal is that we sit there, and the only time we get out of the boat is when we're exhausted, sitting right at the ramp, sleeping on concrete. In reality, oftentimes we stop to get out and stretch for 10 minutes and spend an hour or more at the checkpoint. So let's do a little bit of quick math. Assuming, as I usually do, an average speed of 6 miles an hour, which is your paddling speed plus average current of 2.5. If you stop at a checkpoint, it will take you on average an hour at that checkpoint. That's why I see throughout a lot of paddlers. Now multiply that by 8 checkpoints and you're losing about 20 miles over where you could be had you done various things in the boat and stayed in the boat. What things could you have done in the boat? You could relax in the boat, kick your legs out, or just float for 10 minutes. That 10 minutes doesn't require you to come off the current, and you're still moving at 2.5 miles an hour. You can eat in the boat. Grab a sandwich, or have your ground crew simply hand you food at various checkpoints rather than having you stop and come up the ramp. It will save you a lot of time. You can pee in the boat. So let's do a little bit more math. Here's your checkpoints. You're losing an hour per checkpoint, and you're losing 20 miles over where you could be had you stayed in the boat and floated. Let's take this through an average 340. So you take 1 hour per checkpoint per 8 checkpoints. That's 8 hours plus, let's ballpark 8 hours of total sleep or attempted sleep. That's 16 hours total. That's a lot of time. Now let's figure that you also stop for 15 minutes at these 9 stopping points. These are boat ramps and beaches that are easily available on the route between checkpoints. And just stopping 15 minutes 9 times means we're adding another 2 hours, which means your stoppage time is as much as 18.5 hours. That's the difference between getting a good night's rest Thursday night at the end with a warm shower and not getting in until Friday at noon. And just so you're aware, this is very similar to the stoppage time I had my first and second year when I stopped for about 16 hours and 14 hours respectively. So it's very easy for this time to add up. And when you're on shore, you're not moving ahead. That guy who you were paddling with when you stopped for an hour is now at least 2.5, if not closer to 6 miles ahead of you. You probably won't be catching him up too soon, or it will take considerable effort to do so. Now, there are good stops. For example, when there's fog, stop, take a break, take it as an opportunity to grab some sleep. A barge, if you don't feel stable at the time or you don't want to fight the wake coming off the barge, go ahead and stop and take the 20 minutes to relax and stretch. Weather, clearly the same thing. Wrap yourself up in your space blanket and sit behind a wing dike somewhere. Or hallucinations, lack of sleep. Oftentimes this is kicking in night 2, night 3. Stop and sleep for an hour and 90 minutes. It'll clear your head and you'll probably end up faster than you would have had you tried to push through the hallucinations. Now, basically what I want you to do is go as the way opens unto you, as our fearless leader Scott Mansker always puts it. Obviously you want to finish, don't put yourself in danger, but you want to stay in the boat because the faster you finish, the faster the hurting stops. And this will be very useful to keep in mind throughout the race.